Do you feel like you're not communicating properly with your colleagues or clients during business meetings? Do you feel like you're not doing so much and cannot tell if you're getting results? Are you wondering why your client is not suddenly getting in touch with you as before? Stay with me, guys. I'll be taking things a notch higher concerning business developers. Welcome back to another episode of Business in Minutes. I am your host, Mercy. Please, guys, don't go anywhere. This episode is going to be super amazing. Trust me. Before I proceed, I would like to say a big thank you to everyone who have been following us and sending us feedbacks on the comment sections. Thank you. Also, for those that have been sending us email requests, Banco Online Space says a big thank you. Thank you all for the effort. Really, we don't take what you do for granted. So today, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you 9 common mistakes business developers must avoid. Yes, you know, sometimes business development can be a touch and go job. Yes, in the sense that not every time things go according to plan. As a business developer, you should always have a backup plan. You must be able to think on your feet and swiftly adapt to a rapid changing environment. This is very important. The good news is that there are varieties of set rules that, if followed consistently, it increases your chances of being a successful business developer. Also, if you're a newbie to this field and sometimes you feel like you're fumbling for ideas and don't know how to act, here are a few pieces of advice on what to avoid doing. So the first thing to avoid is not keeping your clients updated. Your clients should never call you for the updates. You should be the first to update them. Keep your communication focused and relevant. This does not only apply to your products or services that your clients are already using. You also need to brief them about the ones newly launched. That's if you have any. So research shows that being relevant and keeping your customer up to date helps to drive 18 times more revenue in the long run. There are high chances that this way you will also keep abreast of your competition and raise your company to market leader status. Second mistake is not demonstrating the same peer status. When you walk into a meeting, demonstrate confidence and leave aside any kind of insecurities. Even if you don't have a lot of experience as a business developer, what you need to let your counterpart know is that you are trustworthy and truly comfortable in your skin. C, if you're perceived as having low authority or knowledge, it might generate a negative impact on the relationship you establish with your prospective clients, and obviously this might influence their decision of doing business with you. The next point is trying to over-accomplish and over-impress in the first minute. No. Don't rush. Like I legit mean, don't rush to make a sale. If you try too hard, you might be viewed as a low-status player. On the contrary, try to make your actions seem more effortless, which actually will give the impression of being a high-status business player. I don't know if you've heard of the word KISS, that's the acronym KISS. Keep it simply simple. It helps a lot, That doesn't mean you do not need to make an effort to accomplish your objective, no. It just means that you should demonstrate your value and status. By bringing value to the table means demonstrating that you know your worth, and this in turn will make your client trust you. The next mistake to avoid is not having an accurate follow-up system. There is no excuse for this, such as not having time, yes. All your work could go to a waste if you don't have a well-established follow-up system in place. For those that have been following our videos, last month we talked about building good rapport. We made mention of follow-up as one of the ways to build a good rapport with your business client. Because the client is not communicating with you doesn't mean you're done with that person. once in a while you should keep in touch. So you see, follow-up is very important. So build a good follow-up system. Statistics demonstrate that if you carefully nurture your potential clients, they are 47% more likely to purchase more from your company. It's not only about setting up a follow-up meeting after you got to know your client, like I said, but also about keeping constant communication with them and their colleagues. Also, making sure that they can count on you when they need you. The fifth point is avoid using PPT in your first minute. That's basically avoid using PowerPoint presentation. Instead of pulling out your fancy laptop and trying to impress the client with an elaborate presentation, it's better to start by getting to know your client first. You don't need to pitch immediately. Most likely, the potential client already have an idea of your company's offering. You need to create conversation, not present to the client. If you mention to the client solution you have offered to comparable firm in the field, your credibility is immediately enhanced. The next point is not paying special attention to the emotional and political environment. You need to be aware of workplace politics and the interaction involving authorities. Your interest is not only to deal with the company's decision makers, but also with other individuals within it. The other critical aspect is the company's emotional culture. If you can gauge how your potential clients feel about the work they are doing, you should use it to your own advantage to establish an emotionally intelligent link with your clients and showing them that you understand their point of view. The seventh point is being boring and unmemorable. How much competition does a company have? In most cases, they have a lot. So you need to stand out for the crowd and be engaging in dealing with your customers. Listen and act focused. Also, ask high quality questions. If you want to ensure further meetings with your clients, you need to transmit it from day one. We talked about building good effective communication with your business clients, and we said for you to be able to establish an effective communication, it has to be functional. That's from the beginning. So anything you'll be having in the future with your clients all has a base from the first day you meet with your client. So make sure everything is done properly the first meeting with your client. The next point is not focusing on current clients more than acquiring new ones. There is a general rule that 80% of business comes from current customers through recommendations and referral. Remember, we talked about building referral system last month. For those that have been following our videos, you remember we talked about building a good referral system. Yes, we said when you have a good referral system, then now you will spend less trying to get new customers to your business, because your established customers are the one that will make more referral to you. So that is why we said 80% of business come from current customers through recommendations and referrals. So your current clients already value you, they value your service and they value your product, and you already have a thorough understanding of their business. So business data shows that new clients cost up to 5 times more than existing ones. You should also consider clients in a related industry who face similar challenges. Offer cross services, but always be tactful about it. You don't want to hurt the customer's perception of your brand and diminish lead conversion by overwhelming them. So the final point to take note of, or the final mistake to avoid, is confusing being busy with doing business. This has to do with knowing how to allocate your business development time wisely. Probably the best rule to follow is that of not wasting time and resources on activities that do not connect you directly with clients. In other words, it's not only about having a great product or service or a good story to sell those products and services. It's also about getting hands-on experience while executing a well-structured business development strategy. And that's a wrap for today's edition. But before I go, a quick recap of what we just talked about. The first point we talked about is not keeping your clients updated. It's a mistake you need to avoid. The next is not demonstrating the same peer status. The third one we talked about is trying to over accomplish and over impress in the first meeting. It's a no-no. Just be yourself. The next one is not having an accurate follow-up system. So if you don't have an accurate follow-up system, you should build one for your company. It really works. The next one is using PPT in your first meeting. It is not paying special attention to the emotional and political environment. The next is not focusing on current clients more than acquiring new ones. And finally, we talked about confusing being busy with doing business. I hope what we just talked about today would really help a lot of us watching this. Also, I want to thank you all for making efforts to watch our videos. I want to thank you all for commenting on our comment sections. For those joining us for the first time, you're welcome. Trust me, you won't be watching our videos. So that's the end for today's edition. Like I said, I'm your host, Mercy. Join us next week for another amazing episode of Business in Minutes. It's going to be mind-blowing. Also, I'll drop the link for our webinar below here on Vanco Online Space. Click on the link, register, and learn more financial freedom secrets from the experts. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click on the notification bell, watch our videos, and give it a thumbs up. For those that have not followed us on our social media platforms, we have other social media platforms. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. So till we see next week, stay connected to Vanco Online Space and keep winning.